on the NAM Radio Spotlight. My name is Naboth from NAM Radio, here to present to you an amazing lady, and she is part of an amazing band as well. And today we decided to give you something special and to get into detail as to how she goes about making this music and just being a whole amazing movement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you Suzanne Walker.
Hey, how's everybody doing today?
Yes, yes, yes. My name is Naboth, Nabothri, zigzag L to the first letter, and nobody does it better. Here to present NAM Radio Spotlight. This is a show every Monday from 10 p.m. Central African Time, all the way up to 10 a.m. on a Thursday. We got two dates. Make sure you do make a date with us. We always talk to amazing artists from all over the world. And this time we've got Suzanne Walker from Suzanne's band. Yes, I hope I'm saying that right. But before we get into the interview, I always like to ask my guests to please introduce yourself so I don't make a mistake.
No problem. The emphasis is actually on the "and" part, so it would be Suzanne's band. And my name is Mia Suzanne Walker, and I'm the creator of the band. So, yeah. And we're from Houston, Texas, that area, just west of there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. Were you part of the South by Southwest by any chance?
No, not, I don't think so.
No, that's all right. No, it's just that Texas is, I know Texas for the South by Southwest Festival, which I think is an amazing, amazing
Yeah.
festival that's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I think that they canceled it with COVID. I don't think it was going on for a while, but no, we hadn't. The band was formed recent enough to where we haven't been a part of that festival yet, but it's on my bucket list.
okay, okay, that's good to know. Okay, so how and when did you fall in love with music?
Well, I've always been a part of music. It's always been in my life. I've been singing in choirs,
Okay, right.
playing an instrument, but around 2016, after I had finished pretty much raising all my children, a friend of mine said, "You need to come to School of Rock."
Oh, okay.
It has to do with music. And so I joined an adult band there and I started playing guitar, started playing piano again, which I hadn't done since I was little. And it just kind of propelled itself from there. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, And so then I had the idea to create the band and start playing live and recording. And it's amazing how much has happened in just that 5-year period, to go from zero experience with playing in a full band on an instrument like that to where I'm at now. And the fact that I just got into the Grammys this last year, it's like, whoa, and I can't believe it. I made these 5-year goals and I accomplished half of them in 1 year. So it's like, whoa, I need to redo my goals.
Oh yes,
It's been
definitely. Yeah,
amazing.
that sounds like you've been taking over. You've been really doing amazing things.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Well, thanks.
So yeah, so what were your musical influences that kind of swayed you towards music?
hmm Definitely ELO, and the classic rock bands, that were so big in the 70s and 80s. There were so many influences of that. I like a lot of harmonies too. So groups like
Okay,
Little Big Town and ABBA and those 4-part harmonies, and some of that relates to my choral experience too, being in choirs all those years. I love those harmonies. The Beatles, for all of
yes.
their songwriting creativity, especially George Harrison. That's my favorite Beatle. Um, and I think who else? Yeah, those are some of the big ones right there for sure.
Okay, okay. That sounds really good. That sounds really good. How would you define your sound and style of music?
We are an Americana country rock kind of band. That's typically what we do. And you can hear some of those influences in a lot of our songs off the Back to You album. We incorporated a little bit of violin here and there, but it's not overpowering. It doesn't cover every song. There are some that have some piano to them or keys and different things like that. So with Americana being a little bit more eclectic in what you can do with it, that really is kind of our lane, because I don't like to like cookie cutter things too much. If I can, I like that freedom of creativity that you get within that genre.
Oh, okay. No, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. And what lessons can you share from your musical journey thus far? Because I can tell you've got a lot of information on you, and we need to be sitting down and taking notes.
Oh my goodness, boy, howdy. There have been a lot of lessons, I can tell you that, in just such a short amount of time. Uh,
Okay.
the big one is, for every 2,000 no's you get, you might get one yes, and that relates to trying to book venues or try to play other places live, or just any number of things that you deal with in the music business. And you really have to keep motivating yourself and creating that on a daily basis, and stay focused on what's important, whether you need that day to be songwriting or you need that day to be practicing. That's another thing that's very important, is to block out your time in the best way each day and not get too overwhelmed by, oh my gosh, I've got to do all this stuff in such a short amount of time. If you can just kind of shorten that down to days or maybe just a week at a time, it helps you prioritize a little bit better, because it's very easy for me to get sucked down into a rabbit hole, whether it's too much practicing or too much songwriting, or, I get that balance. That's one thing I found that's tricky to do, is just getting that balance between everything, especially when you're doing it all. We're not just a cover band. The fact that I'm songwriting and trying to produce new music, and then still it's a business as well. I've created Suzanne's band from as a business as well. So you've got the website, you've got promotion, you have all these different things that you're trying to accomplish. And there's only 24 hours in a day. It goes by fast. Whoosh.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I was listening a little earlier, and congratulations on being accepted as part of the Academy for the Recording Academy for the Grammys.
Thank
I
you.
think
I appreciate that.
that's a big feat. So, can you explain it to someone who doesn't understand how big a position that is? What exactly does it entail, and what are you going to be doing in there?
Um, I actually learned that there's even more to it than I thought. Um, First of all, you have to have produced a certain amount of songs. That is one of the requirements. I believe it's 17. That number might have changed, so don't quote me on that. But it is a number. You have to produce a number. You have to have an active website. Show that you are doing this as your career. That it's not just something on the side that you're doing as your hobby, that you're definitely focused on this as your career. Um, you have to have some recommendations now. You don't just, sign up on through the website or whatever. So, you have to have at least two of your peers, that are within the academy to nominate you into it as well. So it's kind of this combination of everything. A lot of people think you have to win something to be a part of the academy. And although I'm sure if you're a part of a big record conglomerate or something like that, or a label, that might give you a leg up on that side of it, but you don't necessarily have to. You can get in on the merit of your works and your peers as well. And within the academy, besides producing music on a regular basis, they also do a lot of lobbying to support everybody within the industry. And part
Okay.
of the COVID situation, where all these music venues were closed, and nobody could perform. There was just no work. It had dried up. And you've got lighting technicians, you've got sound technicians, all the people that are involved in this business that you can forget about very easily that are out of work. And so part of the Academy's job was lobbying for help, for that side of the industry as well. And also on a regular basis for songwriters. There's been several bills that have passed through our government to help out songwriters and give them bigger pieces of the pie as well, not just a couple of pennies, per song or whatever it is. We get through a lot of places. So it's more than just, the winning the award thing that you see on television. There's a lot that goes into the backside of this where you can be a part of that and still help out the industry and make a difference. And that's one thing I love about it that I discovered that I didn't know about. There's a little bit more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, definitely. Just listening to you speak sounds like it is a whole another ball game instead of just the award shows that we see.
Right.
Definitely.
Everybody thinks that that's what it's all about, that doesn't really know anything else. They just see it as a TV show.
Wow. No, that's definitely something special. We'll definitely keep tabs with you. I'll be bringing some Grammy questions to you because, hey, it is one of the biggest music award shows in the world. So we
Yes.
definitely want to learn more and understand how all that works.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question will be, why did you decide to be a non-genre specific artist and songwriter? Because I noticed that you dabble in a lot of things. What's the advantages of doing that?
Well, I like mixing things up, definitely, and having the freedom to do a little bit of everything. I think it really helps the creativity, and I've just felt like that's where personally I was being led. I can write in almost every genre. So what I had done was I had created a bunch of country songs and a group of faith-based songs. And then some others, and I just kind of laid it all out and I said, okay, God, what is it you want me to do? Where do you want me to be in all this? You've led me to this point. Where do I need to be? And I just felt like that it was in order to reach the most, the highest number of people, I guess, with my music. I felt like, if I didn't limit myself to one thing and just created something and everything, that was being true to who I was.
Wow. Okay. No,
And
that's
some
a
people would
different.
say, well, you need to pick one. I'm like, oh, I don't know that I
Yeah,
can.
because because everyone is always trying to specialize and be one thing at a time. So I, I found that to be something that actually stood out for me about you because you
Oh,
are doing so many things and doing them very well. So I was like, okay, so there's got to be an advantage about this because we seem to be, always doing one thing. And yet, when you're a songwriter, you can do so many things.
mhm.
So yeah, I think that
And
was
one way I think it helped as well is that there's so many different platforms. Like
okay.
Spotify is one platform, and then you have radio stations that are another platform. You've got streaming like Pandora and all these different things, and it seems like different music styles do better in different places. And by having this selection, you can offer different things in each selection and see what works best. And like my Latin songs, like Fault in My Stars, which is the one that you guys shared through NAM Radio. That one and Down in Mexico, which are, my two Latin spicy dance kind of numbers, those have done the best on Spotify. Um,
Wow.
and so you just think, okay, but they haven't done as well, like with more radio things and all that. Some of the more Americana, more country-esque, down that lane have done better in that regard. So, you just never know. When you play live, everybody likes almost everything.
Yeah, true that, true that.
Something for everybody.
Yeah, I think the live element of it, I kind of just gets everyone jiggy and just getting up and dancing. But I think the biggest takeaway from what you've just said is the use of platforms. Is
Hmm.
you really need to be clever. That's a big take right there. That's a huge, clever way of how to use them and noticing which ones do well on which platforms.
Hmm.
That's definitely. Are you dropping jewels, Suzanne? You dropping jewels? I told them to be taking notes. Yeah.
Well, and you
Oh,
see so many artists like Gwen Stefani. She started off more reggae and that type of thing with her music, but now that she's with Blake Shelton, she's done some country and she's done well in that too. So there's something to be said for doing things in multiple genres, and styles. Because not only is it fun to do that, but it stretches you as an artist and it kind of sparks that creativity thing, that goes on inside you so you don't feel like you're just, stagnated in one particular area, kind of jump starts things.
no, that's really good. That's really good.
Mhm.
Uh, please take us through a typical song creation process that you go through. Do you start with lyrics? Do you start with instrumentation, or do you start with an idea? You go through the studio. What exactly do you go? How do you? Just a typical one, because I can imagine.
It's a D, all the above. It depends on the song. There's some where I hear a melody or I hear a rhythm, and that kind of sparks the words or the story. And sometimes it's the story that I start with, and I think, how would this be best expressed in words? Um, I tend to get a lot of ideas when I'm driving, which is kind of weird. So I've
Yeah.
taken to always making sure I have my cell phone where I can hit voice memo and I will sing or talk out whatever it is I just thought about, while I'm driving so that way, because usually I don't have like pen and paper where I can start writing things down. And I feel like if I get out of the car, I'll lose it. It's like, no, no,
True.
no, I don't want to lose the idea.
Wow, well, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
let me just remind the audience that my name is Naboth Rizla. I'm live for the NAM Radio Spotlight on NAM Radio, and we are joined today by Suzanne Walker. She is an amazing artist, producer, songwriter, and singer from the group or the band, Suzanne's Band. So make
Yes.
sure you keep in touch and keep it right here. Don't go nowhere, because when we come back for the second part, we'll be getting straight into her music and she'll be explaining a whole lot more.